Hello, my friends. I'm back again and I'm super duper excited to let everyone know about today's topic, and that is stress. This is one of the biggest things that we are dealing with in a modern society, and so many people would benefit significantly if they would learn how to not only navigate the stresses in their life, but learn about the different kinds of stresses, how we can reduce them, and how much this will impact and improve your quality of life. Okay? My friends, I am currently live on multiple streams. I'm just making sure that everything is working properly. As of right now, I don't know what's going on with Instagram. Let me check here. I'm supposed to be live on Instagram, but it's not showing that I'm live for some reason. I'm hoping that everyone can see me over on YouTube and Facebook. Let me go ahead and see if I can click go live. For some reason, I don't know, it doesn't seem to be working as well. Let me refresh. Just give me 1 second, my friends. But for those of you who are just jumping on, we are talking about stress today. And I wanted to talk about this in regards to our 30-day vibe challenge. Why? Because something beautiful that happens when we create healthy habits is that we naturally decrease our stress levels. Okay? So let me go ahead here. I'm just gonna try to go live again here on Instagram. I don't know what happened, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on, guys. I might just go ahead and set up another camera right here on the side. Since I got my handy dandy tripod with me, I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. All right? Can everyone hear me and see me over on Facebook and over on YouTube? It looks like my Facebook is good to go. Alrighty. Okay, I'm going live on my phone since that's not working for some funny reason. Okie dokie. Let's go ahead and lock this in. And I think we're good to go. Okay. Just going to try to navigate this and see if we can make this fit here without it being such a crazy angle. All right. I think it's good enough. I can work with that. We can make that work. All righty. Okay. The goal was, right, to go live on multiple platforms. Sometimes this thing's a little wobbly. Forgive me, guys. All right. Today, I've been going live every single day to let people know that we are launching our first ever Vibe Challenge. This is exciting because, like I said in the beginning, I'm so excited to give people the step-by-step guide of how they can transform their health by implementing healthy habits that create a lifestyle. The goal is not to create a diet. It's not to do something that works temporarily, but you can't stick to. It's not about creating something that's not sustainable. It is about how can we create daily habits that are actually going to make us healthier. Not just feeling better, but giving us more energy, giving us more glow to our skin, helping our hair, our skin, our nails. And on top of that, making us feel stronger and eventually, of course, getting ourselves to our desired body shape or size, right? Regardless, because obviously all of us are going to have different goals, different ideas of what they want to look like, how they want to feel, right? So let's talk today about stress because this tends to be something that I think people need to learn more about. They need to educate themselves more on why, because stress is the number one cause of disease. Because if you even look at the word dis-ease, right? It is about dis-ease in the body, meaning your body, your vessel is in a place where it cannot fully heal from the amount of toxins and challenges that are coming from the outside into this vessel. It cannot heal fast enough, and therefore you are going to have some sort of disease. This can come in the form of starting with symptoms, right? Because that's how all disease starts. You start to notice that you're not feeling so good, then you create all these symptoms start to come up out of nowhere, right? Most people, what they do when this happens is they decide to numb themselves. They decide to put band-aids on the problem. They decide that the answer then, of course, isn't to basically figure out a way to solve this, right? They're like, oh, let me just cover it because then I don't have to deal with it, right? Because a lot of us maybe don't know how. Maybe it's overwhelming because we have life going on. We don't have time to deal with our symptoms and our problems and our health issues. So here I am to let you guys know how important it is for you to be aware and pay attention to those early warning signs. If your body is giving you early warning signs of something going wrong, the worst thing that you can do is avoid it. Because let me tell you something. When you avoid your problems and you don't pay attention to it and acknowledge it, it's only going to get worse. And the same thing happens with your health. If you're starting to feel super low energy and you just decide, yeah, I'm not going to do anything about it, I'm just going to start loading up on more caffeine, guess what's going to happen? It's only going to get worse. That's when people start to have other problems. I can tell you this from my own personal experience because I started dealing with low energy. What did I do? I just said, oh, of course, we have caffeine to cure this. Let me just overload myself with caffeine. But there's always a reason, like I said in the beginning, why we are having symptoms that are outside of our optimal health. And that is what I'm here to let you guys know. So first, let's talk about what are the stressors. The main 3 stressors that I like to talk about are number 1, our physical stress. Number 2 is your emotional stress. And number 3 is chemical stress. So physical stress is something that's going to physically stress you out. This is, let's say, a tough workout. Let's say that you go and you are lost in a desert and you can't drink any water and it's super hot, right? That is a big, big stress physically on your body. Even childbirth is a big stress on the body. Anything that is a physical demand that is a little too much for the body, that is what's going to cause a physical stress. Number 2, we talk about emotional stress. This is something that is very underrated, guys, because a lot of people don't talk about this. Emotional stress has just the same amount of impact on your body and your body chemistry as the physical stress, if not more. Emotional stress can come in the form of trauma, unresolved trauma. It can come in the form of a bad relationship, whether this is a turbulent relationship with your family, with your friends, with your significant other. This can come in the form of overthinking too much, being over analytical. All of these things that are running through your mind are going to affect your physiology. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3 is our chemical stress. Chemical stress comes in the form of anything that we are taking in from our environment that is affecting our health. Let me give you some examples. There's a lot of heavy metals and things like that in the water system. This is not good for our bodies. A bunch of toxins, chemicals, and things like that coming through the air. There's more and more chemicals that are being tested in the air every single year. This is impacting our health. Any perfumes, fragrances, and things like that that are a stress on our body because they have a lot of ingredients that are not organic. Our body cannot recognize this as normal. So, of course, it's going to have a response to it. And most of the time, that's inflammation, right? So, once again, to recap, we have physical stress, we have emotional stress, and we have chemical stress. And I wanted to make this very clear because there's a lot of people that don't understand that there could be so many different stresses coming at your body right now. And your first line of defense, most of the time, is going to be your adrenal glands. Your adrenal glands are these small little glands that sit on top of your kidneys, and they are responsible for pumping out cortisol, right? This is your fight or flight hormone. This is what's going to happen initially when you go through a stressful experience. So, a tiger is chasing me 500,000 years ago. Guess what happens? or an animal's chasing me, my body's going to pump my body real quick full of adrenaline and cortisol so that I can get the heck out of there so I can survive. In a modern society, we can simply look at our bank account and not have enough money, and your body's going to be like, oh my gosh, my survival is threatened. Cortisol through the roof. Same thing happens when you are exposed to too many toxins. The same thing happens when we are exposed to a lot of emotional stress, whether it's from work, relationships, or wherever. Your body doesn't care where it comes from, still responds the same way. Stress. I'm overstressed. So, of course, then again, we have to ask ourselves, am I being intentional about decreasing my stress in each of these three categories? Okay, so that means, am I doing too much exercise? Because I know this is something that people probably haven't heard a lot about, but there is such a thing as overstressing your body when it comes to training. I've been there. My background is a coach, and I worked as a personal trainer for years, and I was training people all day, working out 2 hours a day, wasn't getting enough rest. And let me tell you something, my body took a huge hit from that. Okay, I know that most of the population, they're probably not going to connect with this, but there is a large amount of people, athletes specifically, that overtrain, and that is a significant stress on the body. So be intentional about your training so that you're not doing too much, especially if you know right now that you are in a stressed out state. Okay? Second thing is our emotional stress. What can we do in our life right now to set better boundaries with the people in our life right now? How can you learn to put yourself first, set those boundaries so that you are less stressed from the people that are in your life? Do you need to disconnect yourself from some of the people in your life? Are there people that are talking negatively to you who don't support you and don't want to see you win? Right? These are all the questions you have to ask yourself, because emotional stress will make you sick if you don't become aware of it. Okay? Thank you guys. Hello over on Instagram. Thank you. Hi, Jess. Awesome. Okay, so like I said, emotional stress comes in so many forms. It can come in the form of overburdening ourselves when it comes to our jobs, right? We have too much on our mind. We have too much responsibility. That is going to cause a stress on our body, because now we're overwhelmed, we're overthinking. That's going to affect our physiology. And then, of course, the last one, and that is our chemical stress, right? Are you exposing yourself to toxins constantly? An example of this is, let's say you're constantly eating microwave dinners. Sounds like a crazy thing, right? When you're microwaving in plastic, guess what happens? Your body, all the plastic seeps into the food, and then guess what? You consume the food and it goes into your body. So now you're getting microplastics. This is going to increase your estrogen levels. Now you have hormonal imbalances, stress on the body again. If you are living in a place where the air and the pollution is really bad, that's a stress on the body. If you are drinking water from the tap, you are going to be getting fluoride, heavy metals, lead, chlorine, all these things. We don't think about it, but guess what? Your body now has to filter through all of these toxins because you haven't been intentional about making sure that your body doesn't have to do that, right? So as you can probably see by now, there is a lot of things coming at us every single day, right? We can't avoid it. We live in a world now where we just simply cannot avoid these things. The only way you could is if you decided to live off grid, out in the middle of nowhere, and probably never associate yourself with human beings anymore. That's not very realistic, right? So what do we do then to naturally decrease our stress levels in these three areas? The first thing that you can do is fix your gut health. I know I talk about this all the time, and it is because it is the foundation of everything. If your hormones, not your hormones, if your gut is leaky if you have an overgrowth of bad bacteria, if you are someone, because of stress, once again, has any sort of metabolic dysfunction, which, mind you, is about 80% of the population, maybe even higher according to some statistics, that have metabolic dysfunction. This is insanely high, guys. That means that most people walking around today have such a high stress load that their body, specifically their gut health, is compromised. So we can focus on improving our gut health by incorporating a few simple steps. That is going to bring me to talking more about the 30-day Vibe Challenge. That is why I wanted to do this live today, because this is like your body's reset. This is going to give you something that you can do every single day, not just for 30 days, but of course, we want to start with those 30 days. That's why we're doing a challenge, because we understand that people need the accountability. We need that momentum. We need that initiation energy, because it's not easy to make changes, right? It's challenging even when they're positive. So what we can do is start by taking probiotics, right? I have my Vibe here. This has pre and probiotics. It has your soluble fiber. It has a lot of great nutrients to help rebuild that healthy gut bacteria. So that, guess what, guys? We can combat the stresses of our daily life. Because when our gut is healthy, we start to be able to metabolize stress differently. Fun fact, your gut, of course, is responsible for most of your immune system. If you have a weak immune system, your body is going to be very vulnerable to anything from the outside world, any sickness, any germs, because you have not created a strong barrier between you and the outside world. It's just like what I talked about with the emotional stress. If you don't have a strong boundary with you and the emotions and the feelings of other people, you're going to be emotionally distraught all of the time because you don't have boundaries against other people's projections onto you. Okay? All of these things matter. That is why I wanted to talk about this in these 3 specific areas. Okay? So we can combat the stresses of daily life by simply focusing on improving our gut health. And we do that. One of the great ways to do that is taking Vibe, because Vibe has all the ingredients necessary to create an environment where you can start to rebalance your gut bacteria. You can start to rebalance your energy levels naturally, because we're not overdosing on caffeine. You get natural caffeine from the guarana extract, and you get L-theanine that is going to help support your nervous system so that you can still have an energy boost, but with no crash, no jitters. This is going to help stabilize you so that we're not messing with our hormones. Like I said earlier, hormones, when we have too much chaos going on, our hormones become unbalanced, especially for women. This is something that, once again, is not talked about enough. Men and women's bodies are different. Our physiology is different, our biology is different, and therefore how we approach life, of course, needs to be different. One of those things is, how are we as women taking care of our hormones? Because when we go into a place of high stress, guess what happens? Fertility goes down. Your happiness and your joy goes down. Your testosterone decreases. Your progesterone decreases. What are all these hormones? Estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, right? Testosterone is needed not just for men, but for men and women. This is responsible for helping give you the willpower, the energy to keep going, the ambition, the drive, all of these really amazing positive feelings. Those are developed, and you feel that because your hormones are balanced. So when we have depression, when we have anxiety, when we have mood disorders, and we have these imbalances in how we feel, it's coming from your hormones, your neurotransmitters. And guess how all of this happens? Because your gut is sending signals to your brain constantly, letting your body know if you're good or not. Shut this down, we're not getting nutrients. Shut this down, we're not getting what we need here or there, right? So these are all things we have to become aware of, because if you want to feel your best, you want to be able to thrive in your life, then we need to be making sure that we are staying on top of our health. We're staying on top of understanding and educating ourselves, because that's a whole nother thing, right? I can give you all this information, but if you don't do your own research and look into these things, then I'm just another person spouting this off to you. In order for you to understand this and truly know it, you're going to have to do your own research. But I can tell you firsthand, I have experienced so many of my own health issues, and that is the only thing, really, to be honest with you guys, that is what pushes us to ask, to seek answers. It is by us suffering, going through struggles and pain, that motivates us to find a solution. So looking back, I'm very grateful that I had to go through those struggles, those challenges, because it brought me to where I am today, where now I'm educated. Now I know how to help myself. Now I get to give back to others. I get to help other people feel good. I get to help other people get into the best shape of their life, and not just the best shape of their life, because it's not just about aesthetics, guys. Aesthetics will come. Your body will come. Your dream body will come when you get healthy. Your skin, your hair, your nails, your pain will go away. You will decrease your inflammation when you're healthy. It's literally that simple. Always, always, I have been focused on health first, because I understand that when the body's healthy, you're going to feel good. You're going to have energy. All of these symptoms, these problems, they disappear when you focus on the foundation of health, right? So that is why, once again, tying it all back to the 30-day vibe challenge. If you are wanting to go back to a place of feeling full of energy again, you know that you can up level your life in the areas of your health and even your mindset, because guess what? Your mind and body are very connected. When you have more energy, you're going to want to do more in your life, right? Whether that's with your business, with your family, with your friends, with whatever it is that you want to pursue, whatever projects that you want to do. When you have more health and you have more vibrance, you're going to have more energy to do the things that you love to do. Okay? So if you are ready to really invest in yourself, to really commit to yourself and go to the next level when it comes to your health, join the 30-day vibe challenge. Make that commitment to yourself. It is something that anyone can do, regardless of your fitness level, regardless of where you're starting, whether you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced. This is something that will work for everyone. Regardless of where you're starting, you're going to see improvements. You're going to feel absolutely amazing. And I already know that the people who do this are not going to stop at 30 days, because you're going to feel so amazing. You're going to keep doing it. And you're going to want to share it with everyone, because of how awesome you feel and because of how sustainable and practical it is. Because I know a lot of people out there want to make it difficult. They want to complicate it, and it's not complicated. It's simple. Bringing it back to the basics, creating a plan that's sustainable for people, something that they can actually do, right? Because I wanted to take out all the BS, okay? All the fluff. I don't want busy work. I don't want to have to do anything unless it's actually going to move the needle in my life. If it's actually going to make me healthier, then I'm going to do it. If it's not, I don't have the time. I don't want to spend my energy on that, right? And I know all of you guys watching, you have lives. You have other things to do. You have families. You have friends. You have businesses. You have jobs. You have other people who need your time and energy, right? So it's time for you to allow yourself to take the time for yourself so that you can up level in all these other areas, because you're creating space for yourself. because you're choosing to prioritize your health, because it really is the foundation of everything. Hello, everyone. We got some more comments over on Instagram. Hello, hello. Awesome. Yes, so we're really excited. The link for everything I will be posting again in my story, actually. That's where I posted it recently. So for those of you who are on Instagram, if you're interested in joining the 30-day vibe challenge, go click the link that is in my story. Okay, you guys will see it. It'll say 30-day challenge, 30-day vibe challenge. There's a link, and that will send you to the page where you can buy your bag of product, and you will be able to sign up for the 30-day challenge, right? Because of course, we can't do the 30-day vibe challenge without having our product. Why? Because this is what's going to really elevate your life when it comes to getting your gut back to a healthy place. We need probiotics, we need fiber, we need that natural energy so that we're not addicted to caffeine and too much caffeine, like I said, that's going to negatively impact our health. And on top of that, you get a metabolism booster, right? For those of you who are wanting to shed some fat, you want to lose a little bit of weight. You're going to do it in an easier way because you have a product that's supporting you in that, right? And because the CLA and the calorie burn, one helps you focus on fat metabolism, the other one makes you burn more calories. It's a match made in heaven for your fat loss. So definitely go check it out, guys. Get your hands on this product. Get ready to join the 30-day vibe challenge. We are starting on October 15th. Okay, so it's coming up quick. I believe we have six days left. Craziness. It's almost here already. We have so many people that have already signed up. It's going to be an incredible environment and a community of people to help keep you accountable, to make sure that we are implementing and sticking to healthy habits that really do make a difference in our life. They really do benefit us. And they're things that are going to make you feel your absolute best. And eventually, who knows, maybe you'll turn this into your business because it's something that you love that much. And guess what? When you love it, you don't even have to try. It sells itself, right? Okay, guys, I got to go ahead and jump off here. I will see you guys back here again tomorrow because, like I said, I'm going live every single day until we start this challenge, okay? I look forward to talking with all of you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys later. Bye.